Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So you may have seen that Piñatas will be getting updated with module 26. Keep in mind all of this covered in the video is still open to change, and us as the community can have some sway depending on whether we like a change or we really don't. So the first thing to note is the Beholder Piñatas will be going from a recharge time of 120 seconds to just 30 seconds. Additionally, the loot is getting slightly adjusted, wherein it will drop higher ranks of refinement and potions. You can see that here on the previous server. We pop one, they're also a lot easier to pop, and it gives us, you can see, like a portable altar, some light wine, but then like a ruby, much higher quality than just a silly piece of quartz. However, with their decision to adjust the Beholder Piñatas, they've now gone and affected the Summer Festival Piñatas. You can see when you use them, they all go on a cooldown. No longer splitting them up negates the cooldown, but they have reduced it to 30 seconds instead of freaking 2 minutes. And we can go and kill this one, and it should give us some loot. There we go. We get a potion, that's new. We get a Grand Summer Feast, okay, and we get a refinement piece. So now we can see these Piñatas will be giving basically the same loot table as the Beholder Piñatas, which means only one event food piece. Yes, you have a chance to get like insignias, and you will be still getting event food, but you will only get one drop of event food. Rather than 3 drops, you just get 1. The reason you open these Piñatas is for that event food, so you can obtain things like squash soup, which is going now for a stack of over 200,000. So this change is just going to make the Summer Festival Piñatas like the Beholder Piñatas. This is the live server right here with my character with the web hacker and this outfit. And these Piñatas, you can see the Beholder ones, are giving the terrible bits of refinement and the quartz, and then like 1 piece of event food, and then another piece which could be like your healing potions. And so they're basically making the Summer Festival Piñatas exactly the same, just updating them to have higher quality refinement, higher quality of your potions that they drop, and then 1 piece of event food. Yes, they can also drop insignias like the Beholder Piñatas, but they'll only be dropping them on like green, and if you're super lucky, blue. And also having this cooldown now means you have to wait freaking 30 seconds before you can open the next one. I don't like this at all. And to make matters worse, you can't go and use the old trick of having the Fiora companion to like damage your Piñata, and then you just keep opening more of them and more of them from the inventory. Regardless that the aura of the Fiora got fixed, it's now impossible since they all have a cooldown even when you split them. I personally don't like this change at all. Piñatas, you should just be able to pop as many of them as you freaking want, as often as you want, regardless of a cooldown. This is just a negative player thing, causing us to have to waste more time when opening them. And now you're nerfing the drop rates of the event food. They will now only drop 1 piece of event food rather than 3 pieces. We open another one. And again, we just get a rejuvenating potion, a piece of refinement, and 1 piece of event food. Now, having popped the rest of the Piñatas, you can see this was like the loot table from the 11 different Piñatas that I just opened. We can see 2 blue insignias, which is decent. That's not bad. If that's going to be the drop rate of, let's say, 2 insignias within 10 Piñatas, 1 in 5, I can get behind that. But still, I would like to see them increase the drop rates of the food to at least 2 or 3 per Piñata, and not add so many different types of event food. And that way you're just limiting the event food we actually want. Right now there's a high demand for squash soup as it fits really well with many builds. Watermelon sorbet is much harder to fit in your build because you're running a power raptor anyway, at least on endgame. And squash soup fits ideally on a healer with the power and crit severity. So you're having two roles which really want this, and thus you're ending up with a price of, yeah, over 200,000 at this point. But if I'm not just super lucky and the drop rate on insignias is going to be at a decent rate, then yeah, it could be viable to get quite a bit of insignia powder. You will need, like, if I opened 11 and only got 2, that's 20 insignia power and 11 Pinatas. I would need, yeah, 1,375 Pinatas just to get a legendary insignia to mythic at the cost of 2,500 powder. Not really feasible. And so I'd be more inclined to have these drop more event food at least, especially instead of refinement. Remove the refinement, add another 1 or 2 event food, and we're looking at least a little bit better. So I made a forum post covering this change, and so you can leave your feedback, what you think, below. And potentially we can get either the drop rates, the drop amount of the event food increased, or change the pinatas up a little bit, or add multiple different pinatas. That could probably be the best way. Ones that you're going to be using for insignias, ones that you might use for refinement, and another which you might just use for event food. That might be the best strategy, but we'll see. They probably just want one that suits all, because that's probably the easiest they can do and also simplifies things. But with that said, keep your eye open, and especially if you have a stock of these pinatas, maybe you want to save them for insignias, or you want to open them now for the added event food. The event food may only get more expensive with such a low rate of drops from these new updated ones. Special thank you again to all these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.